Welcome back, where today, well, we're kicking off a new month. Usually I say the last month has gone incredibly quickly, and now we're on to a new one, but to be honest, October felt like it lasted a while, with quite a few game releases, ticking it off at the end with Phasmophobia, which I know a lot of people have had problems with. I myself recognise those problems, but I have been enjoying it, and that series will continue on the channel as we go. However, that's not what we're doing today. We're taking a look at the games coming out in November of 2024, my birthday month, and while there aren't too many games coming out over the course of the next month, there are some big hitters that you should be excited for. Before we do that though, only 25% of you are subscribed, so if you do like PSVR2 or anything VR related, please consider subscribing to the channel. Anyway, let's kick it off with Metro Awakening. This might be the most hyped release of the entire month for most people. Coming out on the 7th, this takes the world of Metro and puts it all in virtual reality right at your fingertips. Made by Vertigo Games, whose pedigree of Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2, and after the full paint them as very competent VR devs who know what they're doing, means that hopefully this one will come out as nothing short of a VR masterpiece. The early previews were very positive, and I can confirm I've had my hands on the game for about 2 days now. Now I am very excited to get stuck into this and deliver my review to you, which I can confirm will come out before the game launches, which, if you know VR games, that's usually a good sign that the reviews aren't going out at the same time as the actual game does, because then you should be scared. So if you're a flat screen Metro fan or a VR gamer who's getting into the series for the first time via this game, you're bound to have a good time, as this takes place before the other Metro games, so you won't be too confused. It should offer up some great stealth action moments, survival, a gripping narrative, and some terrifying moments. I, for one, am dreading facing the spiders in VR in this game. It's a VR game I've dreamed about for a very long time, and I hope that it meets my expectations, as I also hope it meets yours. The fabled Monkey game has also made its way over to the PS Store, as Gorilla Tag has appeared with a release date of November 7th or 8th if you're in the US. I can't find it here on the EU store, but a lot of people are taking screenshots, and it has appeared in other stores. I'm in the UK though. I'm assuming it'll have a global release at the same time, or released per whatever day the 8th or 7th is. But it's kind of a strange release because it's had no fanfare and it's just been announced for next week. It's a massive game on Quest. It's got over 10 million players, which is a crazy number for VR. It's not one that I'm really excited about because it's not a type of game that I really enjoy. I'll be sure to give it a go though. But the main question I'm sure a lot of fans will have of this game is that, does the PSVR2 version have mod content? Well, in the description on the store, it does make reference to fan and mod content, so maybe. Either way, we'll have to see when it drops on November 7th. Now we have to skip quite a while into the future to the 25th, because as we know, not every VR game that gets released in a month is announced by the start of the month, so chances are there'll be a couple of games filling in the gap between the 7th and the 25th. We just don't know what they are or even if they exist yet. That being said, on the 25th, which is our next pin game, we've got Starship Troopers Continuum. This is a roguelike Starship Troopers game where you jump in with up to 2 friends, and the 3 of you blast your way through arachnids from the films. This is being made by XR Games, who did that not great Hitman port to Quest 3, but I'm hoping they've handled this franchise with the love and care that it deserves. The early gameplay had me very worried, but the screenshots on the PS Store do look pretty good. However, I have a hunch they're not actual screenshots from in-game, they're just put together renders with assets from the game, which is a little worrying. Either way, I'm going very open-mindedly into this one because I love Starship Troopers and I would want nothing more than to have a great Starship Troopers VR game. If it turns out that's not the case though, I guess we always have Extermination on the flat screen. On the 26th, Trombone Champ plays its way onto PSVR2, a port of a beloved flat screen game that's got a bit of a cult following. A lot of people were quite excited for this one at the VR Game Showcase when it was announced a couple months back. And you know what? Now so am I. I really like beat games, and I think this one has a lot of good music in it. I think it's going to be really satisfying and well made because this is a flat to VR port. They've really gone the extra mile of making this immersive with a proper crowd, a proper physical instrument, and hopefully it feels as good to play as it looks. I think people at EGX, or one of the last gaming conventions I looked at, were playing this at some of the VR booths, and they seemed like they were having a load of fun. So hopefully the PSVR2 port is up to scratch. But I trust these guys, I trust Flat to VR. They've got a lot of ports coming like RoboQuest and Flat Out, so hopefully we're kicking things off strong with Trombone Champ. On the 28th, Rebeloid comes to PSVR2. It's been delayed to the 28th. This is a cosmic VR brick breaker from what I can see. And to be honest, I wouldn't have been too excited for this about a month and a half ago. But since the Cross-Button VR podcast, those guys have actually put me onto Masternoid. Despite its deceptively simple art design, it's a really fun game. And brick breakers in VR are just something that I never thought would work, but they really do. So hopefully this one reaches the heights that Masternoid did for me. I'm quite excited for it now. That is on the 28th. On the 1st of November, right now, you can order your VR Rock lenses. Yes, today's video, as most of our monthly games videos are sponsored by VR Rock. These are the lenses that I actually use on my PSVR2, and they've served me well over the last year and a half in keeping my VR2 lenses safe. They come with blue light blocking filter, anti-glare filter options, and they can either be magnetic or non-magnetic depending on what you want. They're precisely tuned to your prescription, and if you want to take a look, the link is below at www.vrrockstore. Again, these are the lenses that I actually use, and it's a lot easier and more peace of mind to replace a set of, 30 or 50 pound lenses than a 500 pound headset. So save yourself the trouble and get yourself some VR Rock lenses, and thank you to them for being the pay partner of today's video. On the 29th, we have Deadland Polygon VR. Now, looking at the announcement page for this on the PS Store, this is by a company called Kodabur Yazalim Bilsim Tazarim ARG. I've not heard of these guys before, and the description says, step into Deadland Polygon VR, a heart-pounding VR shooter that tests your reflexes and precision. Battle waves of polygon-shaped zombies in a series of high-stakes shooting ranges where every shot counts. Avoid civilian targets as they mix with the undead in intense firefights, and stay sharp as the pressure mounts. And I gotta be honest, this is not calling out to me. I'm sure you probably agree. I'm not very excited for essentially a shooting range wave shooter. So to be honest, that's all I'm going to say about this one. If you're really excited for one of those, fair enough. This is an option for you on the 29th, but it's not something I'm really going to be pining for. What I am really waiting for though is the release of Exocars. This is a PSVR2 driving game, but it's focused on off-road dirt buggies. It's got asynchronous multiplayer, accurate suspension and tire physics, and wheel support at launch, and I'm really excited to see how this one does on the headset. It's not got a release date yet, it's just in the blanket of November, so it could come out at any time, so be ready for it. But we are sorely missing racing games on PSVR2. Gran Turismo 7 covers a lot of bases, and by God it covers it well, but we really are missing our F1 games, our dirt games, and Exocars is filling in more of an arcadey niche than that, but a niche nonetheless that I think needs filling, and I hope it'll do well. The trailers have seemed really fun, and with the announcement of Flat Out as well, it seems that racing fans will get a couple of options over the next couple of months for PSVR 2. I also just want to tack on at the end here, if you're looking for Behemoth, that's been delayed into December, so you'll find that next month instead. Won't talk too in depth on that one at the moment, because again, it is a while away, but yeah, that's why it's not here. Thank you all for watching though. Thank you to our patrons and YouTube members, Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, Hippie Pickle, Jin007, A License to Chill, Sun, WTF, Fat Controllers, The Game Cat, Andrew Ehrenreich, Jason Parker, Lamar Hall, Jordy Bansman, Lemon64K, Outcast VR, Prophecy777, Gundy, Salvador, David Gerhardt, Lauren Thole, Spencer Drake, and Macho X3, the Real Estate Procrastinator Game Cat. If you want to join the Patreon or YouTube membership, all those links are down below. Thank you all for watching. What games are you excited for this month? Please do let me know, and I hope to see you all in the next one.